helping make your life easier. Moms Every Day.
Welcome to Moms Every Day. I'm your host, Jen Lennon. Today I'm joined by Tia and Rylan Blair. They are the owners of Lighthouse Automotive. Welcome back, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You always have great tips for me, and I'm learning a lot about cars that I have to admit I didn't know. So, Tia, what are we going to learn about today?
Today we're going to learn about shocks and struts. And
Shocks and struts.
Yes, they are very important to your vehicle and to keeping it from bouncing all over the road and everything else.
And keeping it nice and stable.
Oh yeah, so you can put your makeup on.
Not while driving, though, while sitting in the passenger seat, of course.
Yeah,
so
while
what are
your
you
husband's
holding
driving.
right now? What is that?
This is
that's
a shock.
Okay, it's a giant one, it looks like.
It
though.
is. It's a truck shock.
Okay, so it's pretty big. So Rylan, tell me a little bit about the shock or a strut and what purpose they serve, how they work.
Well, the way a shock absorber works is it's supposed to put road force against the tire in your suspension. So this thing is full of a giant amount of pressure. It has gas
And then if you hold
and
that up,
oil,
hold
and
it up.
it actually has its own recoil system on the inside.
And you had to put a lot of pressure on that to make
did.
that happen. Yeah. And so all of that is what's keeping us smooth on the road then. That's the concept, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and how many shocks or struts do we usually see in a vehicle?
Typically, vehicles are going to have 4 shocks or 4 struts, or they can have a combination of 2 and 2.
Okay, and so a strut works similar to a shock?
That's correct. A strut is very similar to a shock, except a strut allows the vehicle to turn and to maneuver a little differently than a shock absorber does.
Okay, so this is, like in this truck then, this would be located vertically
That's correct.
inside, sort of above this, attached to the suspension. Do I have that right?
Yes, this
Right,
would
okay.
be attached above the suspension, and it would bolt onto the frame or to the body. And as the vehicle goes over bumps, its purpose is to push the tire down so you have more traction in the snow, more traction. Anytime the tire leaves the ground or hops up and down, you lose traction. You can lose control of the vehicle.
So it's not really about just enjoying a smooth ride. It really is about safety then. So Tia, what can
Right.
happen if your shocks or struts aren't working properly?
Well, if they're wore out and they're not working properly, what happens is it keeps your car from rolling.
Okay.
So like when you go around the curve and you see those cars that kind of go like this and then
Yeah, that
come
looks
back
kind of like a
down,
cartoon car
yeah,
almost. Yeah, okay.
they're way wore out.
Okay.
And so what happens is you want to keep it steady. So like if you have to do a quick maneuver, like around an obstacle or something in the road, and you turn and you go around the obstacle, then it keeps your body of the car steady again.
Okay.
If they're worn out, then you're looking at going around the obstacle and rocking afterward.
So
and
Rylan-
that can be
Or you
real
could flip.
scary.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could flip. So Rylan, this isn't something we think about ordinarily. We think about oil changes and fluid flush and stuff like that. So how long can a shock or a strut last, and how should they be checked?
Well, the manufacturer states that shocks and struts have significant wear at 50,000 miles.
Okay.
In 50,000 miles, the average, and let me say average, a shock absorber can compress and decompress up to 1 million times.
Oh wow. So Tia, is there any way driving that we can help preserve our shocks and struts?
One good way is to watch the potholes absolutely in the road.
Okay.
And then when you're driving over speed bumps, like in school zones or when you're dropping your kids off, go 5 miles an hour or less.
Really?
Because if you go
Okay.
higher than that, then you're looking at really banging up your shocks as you're driving and you run into premature wear.
Okay, makes sense. Rylan, any kind of specials on shocks and struts right now?
Well, right now we're going to be running the special called Shocktober.
Shocktober. Okay,
We're,
I love it.
Coming the 1st of October. Basically, we're going to buy 3, get 1 free special. So
Okay.
buy 3 shock absorbers, and you can get the 4th shock absorber free.
And Tia, where are you guys located, just so we know?
2499 East Platte Avenue.
All right, so we want to keep a smooth, safe ride, right, guys?
You got that right.
Thanks so
Absolutely.
much. Shocking, right?
That's right.
Thanks for joining me today and every day. I'm your host, Jen Lennon, for Moms Every Day.
Visit Moms Every Day online or on the go through our Moms Every Day app. Download it today to find local solutions for you and your family.